Assalamu alaikum. You may be seated. It wasn't me now. You know I can't walk out here. And you know I don't drive. But I'm very ill. So don't blame me for being late. Blame the labels. I was sitting there waiting. And the captain sitting right down under me, and I didn't know it. That's terrible. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, all holy praises due thee, dear Allah, the Lord of the worlds. I am very happy, my brothers and sisters, to see you sitting here like vessels around a fountain that is empty and need to be filled. Well, I have the water. All I've been looking for is vessel to pour it in. I don't know practically what to start on first. You would say, start on the Lord, start on Allah. That's the first thing to start on is right. So I shouldn't say I never know what to start on. Because at this time, I didn't mean to say at this time I'm coughing. At this time we are living, it is the time of the removal of the old world and bringing a new world. This is why you are sitting in the temple of Islam and not in a church. Though the building was built for a church, but since a different believing people has moved in it, we cannot no more give it the name of the Christians' houses of worship. They call them church. Sometime I'll be talking with some of them, and they refer to our temples as a church. They're so used to calling some spiritual meetings and meeting houses to church. But this is no more church. This is a temple of Islam. You say, what is Islam? Islam is the religion of God. If we want to say it in that plain way so you can understand. But Islam is the nature of God. Islam is the first and the last religion of man, if there ever be a last. We're not looking for it to become a change religion. It can't change unless we change God. And that will never happen. So therefore we have an eternal religion. A religion that will never leave us unless we destroy ourselves. This is why the moon was up there that you see, and the devil has been to it to be sure it's real. It was a wise Muslim God that wanted to make and change all the people into one in everything, even into the language that they speak dialects. He didn't want no dialects. He wanted everybody to speak the same. So Allah taught me. And who is better known than He? So He said that once upon a time that there lived a God on this planet, that He wanted all the people, regardless of what part of the planet they lived in, He wanted them to speak the same dialect. And He couldn't do that. As we understand today, actually, the change of atmosphere in certain parts of the earth, the people there just cannot speak the same language of those where we came from. It's due to the changing of the atmosphere, temperature, and the ever moving about of the people from each other, that they acquire a different dialect in their talk or languages. So we cannot never make a difference there, nor can we ever make the people to speak the same language. Look in the South, how you used to speak there. When you get up here in the North for a while, your dialect begin to change. Well, that is something in the change of the atmosphere you moved into. It's not the same. Since our life depends upon the life breath or breathing we're taking in and out. There's nothing that can possibly make a change but in the atmosphere that we breathe. So this man, before we had the quotation from Moon, he wanted everybody to speak the same dialect. So he got angry because that he couldn't make them do it. So Allah taught me, in the person of Master Muhammad, that this man said, well, I will restore us all. That shows you how powerful a God is. He knows that He is God and having power over the earth and the heavens above the earth. He wants them to obey Him and the people that is on Him. So He set out to do so. So He started drilling in our planet. So Allah taught me, in the person of Master Muhammad, to whom praises is due forever, he began drilling in the planet. And he drilled like a man drilling for coal. He gotten somewhat near halfway the planet. Then he began to pack it full of fire explosion, dynamite. He said the dynamite was more higher explosive dynamite than we are using now. As the people he said uses about 70% dynamite, but they used 100% in splitting the earth in two and building mountains on top of the earth. Once upon a time, he says, we didn't have no mountains. The earth was smooth and round. So they didn't think that that was so good, nor educational. So they went over the planet with high explosive dynamite and dropped it here and there on the earth. And when they wanted to bring up a tall mountain, they would put a motor to the bum, or the bum to a motor. A depth motor that would go down into the earth, carry itself. So they put this to this depth bum, a little motor that when it strikes the earth, it goes on automatically when it hits the earth and takes this missile all the way down to the power that they made the bum. And that power may be a mile, and it may be near 6 miles, but she will go down. Splitting all hearts that this rocks. The drill was made to not to give way, batter, we call it in common words. Go right on through anything that it strikes. It worked kind of like, he told me, or taught me rather, like a drill, air drill, that we use out here on the streets to crack up concrete. He said that's the way the drill worked on this bum. And it would not stop until it got to the depth of its time. So he said that depended on how tall the mountain they wanted. Everest, over in India, was the tallest mountain, he said, excuse me, that they brought up, somewhat near 6 miles. So they put these mountains on the earth, so the Holy Quran teaches you and the Bible that God placed mountains on the earth. Then he told me who the gods was, and we see the mountains. And then he wanted me to be sure that I understood and would believe. He said, now, brother, if you take a little firecracker and build a mound of dirt over it and leave the fuse out and let go, you'll throw up a little mound of dirt with that cracker. He said, this is the way they put the mountains on the earth. They put bums with motors on them, and they drop it at such height that they wanted this mountain to be. If it was a mile high, they dropped the bum, timed by the motor that it's attached to go into the earth for 1 mile before it will explode. So now, in exploding these bums, he said they had 100%, I think I told you, of dynamite. While that American scientists use 70% dynamite. He said these explosions of 100% dynamite will be put in the bombs that they use here. But they are not to bring up a mountain over 1 mile high. And that's the kind of mountain will follow the wake of their bombing of America. Go up 1 mile. Some will be destroyed, probably. That's already there. But these going to be new mountains. And it will kill the civilization for 50 square miles around. So, brother, don't be in the way of that bomb. A bomb hit the earth and go into the earth a mile. Then when it explodes, it sent up a mountain a mile high and killing the civilization around it. We said a crater that it made for 50 square miles. I don't think you such a runner that you could run out of the way. To fly out of the way, if a bomb can bring up earth from a depth of 1 mile, you must remember that you don't only get out of his way down here. The concussion from that explosion will spread out in the atmosphere. And if you are a mile or 2 up there, you're subject to be destroyed. So I say to you, as the Bible in Quran teaches us, He is all wise, referring to the God. He's the best knower, and He don't have to build up nothing to bring about His will. He just willed that these things take place. And that is. But they have prepared these bombs. They are really in reality. To let you know that 66 trillion years ago, that they did make mountains. They did part the earth. So that you won't have no such thought that God cannot do this and He cannot do that. You must know today. I will show you a little proof. Okay. He came and taught us what the moon was and how it came about. Then He let the devil go up there and test it, to see that the matter of the moon correspond with the matter of the earth. And the devil found this to be true, because he brought back rocks from the moon that he tested with the rocks of the earth. The only difference it is that these rocks are nourished with water. But those rocks on the moon don't have any water now, but they used to have the same. You only want to prove to us and the enemy that He created heaven and the earth and He knows what's in them. Then the Holy One say, when He gets ready to destroy people, He opened the doors of heaven and let them see. in it. You fixing to get away from here now, buddy. Just think over it. The enemy that we are referring to, the devil, he was made to try to prove God a liar. Yeah, that's what he was made for, brother. Everything God said, this is that, he will say, that is this. He tries to change. Everything that God makes, he tries to remake it. So you will worship what he made and not what God made. He's no fool. Don't worry about it. That you can go around just because you are directly from the Creator. You can't call him a fool. In wisdom, he is not a fool in wisdom. But he is no equal with the God, the Creator. But nevertheless, he is not a fool. He builds what we see from what we already had here. This is why we say he can't say that he made this, because all the material he used was material that we had already made. So he can't claim the Creator. Creator means one who creates a thing, not one who borrows the essence to build something out of, that the essence was made by someone else. You've got to create your own essence. And that's what God did. He did this out of nothing. The whole atmosphere was void of any matter till he made matter in the atmosphere. Think over these things. I'm teaching all right enough, but it may not be what you want. Just think over it. When the Bible reads, and the Lord made thus and thus, and the Lord created thus and thus, and the Lord said to thus and thus, be this or thus and thus. You're not talking about the devil. You're talking about the God of the black man. How powerful you are and didn't know it. And that he says here in the Bible, if you had the faith of 1/4 of a mustard seed, you could say to this sycamore tree, be thou plucked up and planted in the depths of the sea. It will be done. Think over that. Brother, these are wonderful things. And yet you are too proud and you can't make a flea. If you make a flea, he wouldn't bite because you couldn't but fly. Well, it's just the truth. This is why we are teaching you these things. We want you to know God. Teach what God does. God means something of power, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. That's the God, superior to others. His knowledge of the creation is so Excuse me. Excuse me. It's so deep into the visibilities of things that we look upon that he has the power to make that thing do what he wanted to do. Because the Father is our own kind. This is what he wants to make out of you and me. Not just believers, but gods. Every one of you, according to what he has taught me, will be gods. I called myself one day, I said, I have known quite a bit from our Lord, so I think I'll try some of it out myself. And I did. I just said, I hope this will be thus and thus. And I went on and forgot about it. When I knew anything, it was just that. There is no doubt it is a true thing.
Yes, sir.
And there is no doubt we are gods.
Yes, sir.
But we lost our power and knowledge, like the parable of the Jesus made there. Salt is good so long as it have saving power.
Yes, sir.
But when it don't have no saving power, it's no good.
Right.
For nothing but to be thrown out and people trample it under the feet. This he was referring to us. We had power, and we are power if we are restored to what we originally were. But we have been robbed of power through depriving us of the knowledge of self. Wonderful thing. Just think about it, that you bowing to the creature. Excuse me. Bowing to the creature instead of the Creator, you will fall. You are from the Creator, and this is a creature of the Creator. That you are also is the brother of the Creator. You should be able to agree too. To talk with you some of the wisdom of Allah, who has taught me that he would like to restore you. You're reading the Bible, it says he wants to restore you. You have lost everything of self. Now he wants to restore you back to self. When that you can do what we are preaching, that he is doing, if we will believe and follow him. He didn't come here just to show us who he was. He come here to show us who we were, who we are, and then make us rulers. To be rulers over rulers, you have to have superior wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I am very happy to read where here we have in our midst Mr. Charles Reynolds, I guess that's the proper way. Architect. Well, it's taken an architect to design the universe. After our first father formed and designed himself. Think of a man being able to design his own form. And he never saw another man before he saw himself. Powerful thing. Maybe it would be better. So, Mr. Charles Benton, I guess that's the way. Architect, we need many of you, because we are not only out to build some temples, we are out to build some towns and cities. Of our own design. Not out of design of Satan, who stole his design from us, but we want to create a new earth, a new us, and build a new world. Unlike Mr. Jacob's devil, we want to make a new world. You go by 4847 Woodlawn, you'll see some houses going up there, and the design, you never saw it before. So we're going to come down on the east side of Cottage Grove as far as we can. Some of the people backing out from selling to us now. You know, they're not backing out because they would not like to sell, but they want to rob you. When they learn that you seems to be successful, they want to add. One brother we decided on to be our real estate agent and also salesman. He goes to some people we had already been to. And he brought me back the price yesterday of the buildings that we wanted in that area. And there were, some of them had went up almost triple. I don't think it was the seller. It was this brother who thought we really wanted it, and he got in with the seller and told him he can get him more. And that more was for himself.
Yes, sir.
We have some terrible people. That's why we can't get over with our works faster than we are doing. It's due to the fact that them that we think is brothers is in among us trying to rob us. Yeah, come over to rob his own brother. He don't care if we never have a world, just so long as he can get out of this world all he can. But I know all of these things. I don't say I have the power to say be and there it is, But I have the power from my God to make it hard for you.
Right.
Yes. You're trying to make it hard for me. I can make it pretty hard for you.
Yes, sir.
The man that is speaking, that you see stand here, acts and looks so common and foolish maybe to you. He held power with God, all right.
Right.
And when a man have power with God, why, he have power with a mighty good man. I don't have time to preach those shouting sermons for teaching you.
Right.
You need teaching. You don't need no jumping and hollering sermons. Or I could do it if I wanted to.
Yes, sir.
But I don't want to do that. You had too much of that. And now still with no knowledge. I want to teach you. That's what I want to do. We are telling the world that we want this and we want that. And we are asking you to help us to get this and that. We want airport. We want airplanes to go in and out of. In your mind, you just sitting waiting for us to do it, but not helping us to do it. We want you to help us to do these things, not come up just looking, waiting for us to do something. You help us to do it. I heard much of that kind of talk. They're waiting, let the Muslim do it. Help the Muslim to do it. As you are Muslim yourself.
Right.
Whether you believe in yourself or not. But you are born a Muslim.
Yes, sir.
You wasn't not made a Muslim. You were created a Muslim from the start. God himself was a Muslim. And all of his people is Muslim. So don't deny yourself and let the devil laugh at you.
Right.
As he's saying now, he wish he was a nigger. You want to show how less we care about being anything. Just watch us go where it's being taught that we are something.
Yes, sir.
And you'll see the less group a lot of times there. When you should not have been able to get on this ground.
Yes, sir. That's right.
For a man to stand on this platform, teach to you the depths of wisdom of God himself and the beginning of creation, and how now he's about to destroy that which he made.
Yes, sir.
Not what he created, but what he made. He made it from us. And we were already created.
Yes, sir.
Just taken and use human beings like you use cattle to change their breed. They are breeded from some other cattle. Okay, then you take him over here and breed him with this one. So this is the way people have been made into other people ever since the coming of Yaqub.
Yes, sir.
We never did have but one nation, one race. We didn't have a race, we had one nation. Race come from the makings of something from another.
Yes, sir.
So we are learning all of this wisdom today. We still walk the earth in humbling. And that when we see a fool, we don't call him a fool.
Yes, sir.
We know how he became a fool.
Yes, sir.
It isn't call him a fool.
Yes, sir.
It is not his fault. So, my friends, I'm very happy at all times to go in great depths of the wisdom of God.
Yes, sir.
If you have the patience to wait and listen at it.
Yes, sir.
It's here. All you have to do, come get it.
Right.
There's so much that we need to know. We get impatient before ever that we learn what we should. We get too impatient. Well, you are like your enemy. The devil was created in haste because the time was urgent on him. If he didn't hurry, the other incoming God would be here before he could get started.
Yes, sir.
So he went in haste to build a world, and he didn't lose no time. God himself told me that he didn't.
Right.
He said, brother, this devil has not lost any time. He said he made good of the time that was given to him. And look what he has made. He said he have made himself powerful.
Yes, sir.
And a beautiful kingdom,
Yes, sir.
a heaven for himself. And that's right. Look what we are doing here. Buying some of his work
Yes, sir.
and worshiping him. Now we got to build us something
Yes, sir.
so ourselves and others can worship.
Yes, sir.
Architects is always in demand in a country where there is always progress.
Yes, sir.
It's being made in that way. You cannot build up a town or city unless you have architects. You got to have the architect here. So we have them, and they're good, but they're a little handicapped by the enemy. The enemy owns all the material that the architect will design out for you. Now, for the building engineers to come and get the material to build what the architect has drawn out for you, well, he will have to buy it from the enemy. And if the enemy gets angry with you, he will stop selling it to you. Well, he's already angry with you. He don't want you to go on just so far. When you're going to try to equal him or overcome him, then he goes to work then and get angry with you. Yeah, he don't want you to do that. Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah. We want to do in words what he has done, that is, build towns and cities
Yes, sir.
of our likings over the country, the land. We don't want his. We have lived in his. We have watched him build it, and we have acquired a better knowledge than he now. We can do a better job. This is what's hurting him to see the slave rise up from under his feet and erect a piece of building, engines, to work for himself. It hurts him. Well, we watch you build and we see that we know how you build this. We can improve on it. That's what we are doing. Oh no, brother, I'm just getting started. I was late. Is Mr. Wendell Levis, air pilot, in our midst? Stand up. This is come on out here, brother, so these back here can. And there in front of those steps, right there in front of those steps in the center. Turn your face now to the people. This is our new power. He can fly so fast until I'm afraid to go up with him. So he's you all's pilot, not mine. He fly too fast. Isn't he a fine-looking pilot? Not that I'm afraid. I just don't fly much in nobody's plane. I won't be afraid as I am now when he's at the controls.
Yes, sir.
We don't do a lot of talking and no work. We talk and we work. We're trying to build up a nation. We have secured the hangar for our planes, and that we want it so that you can get to your own airport as soon as they get over to their own, the white man's airport. We have this one not very far from us. Let's do something for self. This is what I'm preaching to you all the time. And I'm showing you that I'm taking a little bitty out of the cup all the time that has begun to feather. So there is nothing now you are waiting for unless you are waiting for us to build the whole entire world. Then you come in and sit down and do nothing. My friends, this is no day for us to lose time. We read now where the East, the Asiatics, of non-Muslim and of mixed Muslims. Such places as Japan, Korea, and China, they are countries with mixed Muslims. But the country ruled by non-believers. But there is some Muslims there. Russia itself have millions of Muslims in it. But the Russians is the majority, and they rule. But we get along. You don't hear Russia talking about going to war with the Muslims. And any country would be a fool to go to war in this day and time with the Muslims. It is the Muslim that will be the rulers after the Christian world. We will rule the next world. We could have ruled it all the while, but we wanted to try our own self at being ruled by an inferior self. So we have learned the inferior self will never make a world of peace and happiness for the people. Because where there is disagreement, there is war. So we, the Muslim, we cannot by nature disagree on the subject of peace. Yes, we must have peace. Yes, so I said to you, brothers, educated brothers and sisters, join up with me and help me to put our poor uneducated people on top of the educated non-world. I'm quite sure that you say, there you go now. We'll be here till night. Oh, no. You must remember it takes money to build. You got to pay not only for your material, you got to pay for your labor to build. People can't work for nothing, they will starve to death. So I say, let us unite together, brothers and sisters, call a meeting of your moist loin, and let us have a meeting out of the moist loin among us, and see what can we come to agreement on. That is the proper thing for us to do. Let me call you to a meeting, or you call me to your meeting on how to accelerate our program of doing something for self. I think everywhere we lay down a piece of timber or a piece of steel, I think it shows a good sign that we are on the way to do something for self. So I'm going to say to you at this time that we will close our meeting here today for this time and meet back here at any time to hold a meeting. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Any time that there is enough of us and the meeting that you want to hold is important enough, let us meet here. This is a good place. Good place. So I thank you for being patient with us here this afternoon. And all of you brothers that can get on the radio to tell the world what you're trying to do and what I'm trying to do. We are here together. And our determination is to build a new world.
Yes, sir.
Not to hang on this. We're not trying to agree with this. We're going to build a new thing to agree on. And let him have his old wicked world.
Right.
I thank you, and I have enjoyed myself here this afternoon. And if there's any question anyone have to and want to ask me before I dismiss myself from you, stand and ask me. Well, no one wants to ask any question. Set one down and let one talk at a time.
Got this turned off. Wait. Sir, it's been truly a pleasure to meet you in person. My name is Charles Pendleton, and I'm from Baltimore. And I've heard and I've searched and I've tried a lot of things, but you have to be the great.
We thank the brother for what he has said. Such talk will soon bring us together.
Yes, sir.
My name is Portia Davis, and I was invited to the Mars, and I'm very glad to be here. But it's one particular question that I had in my mind. Like, I wanted to know, what did you consider love to be?
I consider love something that we have nothing that comes between us without liking it. Liking a thing runs into loving a thing. And that if we love each other, there will not be opposition against each other. Other than love is opposed to that which we like or love. And therefore that which we love and like or like and love, we call it love.
Well, for my studies, and I do quite a bit of studies of and about, different religions and God, I've come to the conclusion that God is love, or Allah is love. But do you think that hate and love could be together?
No.
Well, I want to know exactly, what do you teach? Do you teach love or do you teach hate?
I think you have visited us today, and you can tell from looking at our sittings and what we say, whether it's hate or love. Yourself beyond it. Love is based upon agreement. Without agreement, we have no love. With agreement, we are making love, and that is love.
Well, from my visit here, I can conclude that us here, you have taught love among us, but you also, to my, I may misunderstand, I don't know, but you also have taught hate too.
We have lived in a hate that had the depths of 6,000 years. It was a made hate. It wasn't created. In the creation of God, He didn't create hate. The creation or the creature made hate himself. Therefore, he bared his own evil work and disunity from himself by falling into wars and wars after war due to his hate of self and self-owned plans and the destructions of his own plans by his hands. Created hate against himself and the work of himself.
Well, I can agree with you because self is worst enemy, but one's own enemy, self is. But I wanted to know, what was your views as far as the Bible is concerned?
I would like for you to speak that a little louder.
I would like to know what is your views as far as the Bible is concerned.
The Bible, we don't hate the Bible because we are the makers of Bibles. The devil, blue-eyed Caucasian, have never made a Bible of truth and justice because he's not of that by nature. He found the Bible with us. We mix the Bible. And the Holy Quran is made by us. Not white people. They only take and copy what we make and then add to it what he want to add to that which he makes and copies.
Well, you know, like I take it for granted that you're speaking of like the Holy Quran and the King James Version of the Holy Scriptures. And I want to know if this is correct. How can you say that the King James Version of the Holy Scriptures is made of the white man? What is your basis for your statement?
My dear sister, I love to hear you ask these things because you don't know what you ask.
Well,
when we pick up on what the white man, who is the deadly enemy of black man, he was made for the purpose, and not that he practiced this before till he got perfect in it. He was made a hater of you and me in the first place. He didn't have to go out of that. And he can't go out of it today because anything is made by nature of what it is doing and practicing. Then that thing is of that thing that work that he's doing. His work he do of evil is only himself, because he was made to be an evil opponent of ours, to try us at evil, since we was created righteous and had no opponent to test our righteousness. So then 6,000 years ago, up from 66 trillion years ago, 76 trillion years ago, that one of our black scientists discovered while practicing in the laboratory the behavior of germs. He found in us a germ that was a little weaker than the other one. And we refer to them as black and brown, or brown and black. He discovered this brown germ in our black germ. So God taught me. And that after testing it, he found that he could make a man from the brown germ through birth control law. And then he went after it. It takes him 600 years to bring this brown germ out of the black germ. I have not taught this kind of history here that God gave to me on the creation, making, and made things of the human family. But I have every bit of it in me to teach you. It is not that I'm here to show off problems. I'm here to show off the wisdom of God to you.
Well, it is true that, some things that you say that I question, that I don't ask, but I am seeking for knowledge, and I am seeking for wisdom, and I know that wisdom is of God. But, like I've talked to some, Muslims, and they have said that, that they take some of their beliefs, which is the King James Version, or some of the things that is in the Bible that go along with it, And then I've talked to some that say that, that they deal with the Holy Quran. And from my studies, I understand that most of Muhammad, his making up to the Quran came from scriptures, but he applied them to like the area that they were living in, like in Arab countries over there and whatnot. But I wanted to know is, do you deal with some of the scriptures that come from the King James Version, or is it just totally from the Quran?
I'm not hearing her too good. Will you repeat? Yes, sir.
She wants to know, do you deal with some of the scripture from the King James Version, or you deal strictly from the Holy Quran?
No, we deal from both of them. We made both of them.
Okay, well then,
King James did not make no Bible.
We understand that God wrote the Bible, but I, talked to a Muslim, so he was telling me that the King James Version was revised and all this, that, and the other. But since we have an understanding that God did write the Bible for the understanding of man, then it could be no, contradictions in nothing that God lays down, right?
Who is God?
Who is God? God is love.
God is love.
Right. Don't you see his creation? He created, the heavens and the nature, and us.
Yeah.
So he's love.
Well, the devil.
My conception of the devil is principalities of darkness that do exist on the earth. Well, we understand that white man has did this and did that and whatever, and he has oppressed, but from my studies of the scriptures, this wasn't supposed to be neither, so I understand this. It's like I'm seeking too.
Sister, if I will ask you, who was the first people created, all man?
Well, from my understanding, all in the Old Testament, all those people were black people, but because they turned their backs on God, there was nothing he could do.
Well, if all were black, before the age of the white man, which he tells you and bear witness, he's only 6,000 years old.
Well, then how old are we?
Pardon me?
How old are we?
The age of the black man have not yet been determined.
Well, then, if you say that say we deal with the Holy Bible, and you say, well, I'm going to finish. Okay.
We are trying to teach you, sister, to love self. And the only way you can be taught to love self without mixing in other than self, you have to wait until you learn self.
Well, I understand this too, but I also understand, like I'm supposed to love my sisters and my brothers as I love myself. So therefore, me and my sisters are as one, or me and my brothers are as one, because this is an interwoven love. So I understand.
You can't be
this.
one if you are different with each other all the time.
How can you say
now,
that I'm
the knowledge
different?
of you have come, that the black people was the first people on the earth that has come to you, and that they wasn't grafted from no other people, because you can't grab black from black.
Well,
you'll make something else than you're grafted.
Well, see, I'm not, my thing wasn't to get into, the black or the white, I just barely want to find out your concept of love and what it existed of, and I want to know as far as the, what level, of the Bible is, what did you feel, your concept of this Holy Scripture?
Yes, sister. Deep in what you are saying, you don't like self. You like to mix in the white man trigonometry. You don't like self.
Wait, can I just say something?
You are being taught.
No, wait a minute. I want to say something.
That the black man is the first creature in the sun. You're being taught that. And if you cannot realize that the black man was the first to see the light after coming out of total darkness. He came out of total darkness and he was dark, proving that he came out of total darkness because his own color corresponded with it, with the condition, the heavens and the earth that is now heavens and the earth, that was nothing then but total darkness. And a total dark man came out of total darkness. And you are not satisfied to learn that you was the first and the only powerful creature in darkness, and now create your own self-light to guide your own way through darkness. You're not satisfied with that unless we give your double blue-eyed Caucasian something. I would not waste my time standing up here telling you the truth of your glorious self, and you standing here if you want to argue with me.
My contention wasn't to come and argue or to be debatable or anything like that, or to waste your time. I came to seek an understanding, but you have stood up there, you have stood up there and, condemned me, you said what is on my mind, and you said what it was in my heart, and I just wanted to have an understanding. Thank you.
The sister, like many hundreds that I have listened to talk and tell their side of what they understand of the truth. She's just one of the others that want to bring in just a little of the devil world. I don't want to say that I don't want you to tell me what you know, but I think I know what you know. I don't think that you have anything of the white man's world that you can teach me that I already don't know. For 42 years now, I have not did a thing in the world but study, teach the word of God from his mouth. As it is written, we have the wisdom divine from above this world. If we made the white man, grafted him out of ourselves, that's what happened. What can you tell us about it? There's not a black person in this house that will give the white race any credit for nothing, even their own weakness. We've taken that spot out of the joint of the black man and made a man out of it so that he would be total weak. This is what the gods of the black man did. And we know him. I know the white people. I don't study his book to know him. I studied him from the mouth of God. He have tried to hide himself up until the coming of God, to show him up as the Bible teaches him in you. Holy Quran, a little more plainer and more direct. And we have it here. We know the man, and now taught the utmost knowledge of the man to see whether God of justice is injustice for destroying him today. This is why you are taught all the ins and outs of the man's very nature, for you to see that God is not doing you and me an injustice for destroying him today. I want you to remember that you making a fool out of yourself after God have now come and told us the truth of us, that we was the first and will be the last if there be any last. We don't see through the telescope of the scientists' wisdom that they see anything like an end of black man. There is no end to black man. And look at what he was made out of, how he made himself out of the material that comes last. The material of darkness comes last in the absence of light. And he'd taken that darkness, created himself out of that which come last, so that there will never be a last to himself. I'm very sorry over you that want to argue in the favor of this world and try and pity this world of a world that had no beginning and no ending. You can't calculate the hour, the day, year of the creation. It's impossible. There was no writers there at the creation, because the Creator had to make a writer out of himself first. And it was 6 trillion years after that writing took place, after his own creation. We had none. I can be called a liar like all the others before me, who was prophets and reformers of people. I don't expect you to give me any credit, but you will grow to do that. I tell you today, but you will grow to it tomorrow. You're not able, with the knowledge of this world, to see into what I'm teaching you of a world that have no birth record to it and have no end. You can't create a thought that would correspond enough with the question or answer, rather, for you to tackle what I'm teaching. I don't only defy you, poor sister, but I defy the sanctity of this world to attack what I'm teaching you and prove that I am teaching you something false just because it is not of his world of knowledge. I will give to any professor of the white man's world 10,000 and 10,000 times 10,000 to prove one word I teach you untrue. You are read by the enemy of the righteous. Therefore, since you have not come wholly over to the righteous, which is your own self, then you will give honor and praise to what you see of the enemy and of his world. I can't fault you for that, as long as you're in it and don't believe in another. But if you wake up one day or one night and learn that Elijah Muhammad taught you the most truth that any man ever lived, there is no man never lived before me that had the knowledge, the depth of the knowledge of truth. I have the depth of truth. I'm not boasting. I'm not proud. I will go out there and sit on the street on the curbstone with my brother. I won't boast that I'm greater than him, because he was created like me, and he has the brains like me that came with the creation, that he can make those brains do just what I'm doing if the will of the power of the 12 scientists of the God, comforting power. They can do just what I'm doing. When a messenger is chosen, they go in conference, these 12, to see whether or not he can do the job that he's now being chosen for. The 12 gods that decides on all of this, we call them the 12 great scientists. This is why that your ruler was made with 12 inches in it. It's after the number of the 12 major scientists, we say. And without this, you cannot build. That's why we call it a ruler, when you have 12 square inches in it. I'm that last scientist or prophet, you call him, but I'm not a prophet by the way of speaking. I am a messenger. The last one is not a prophet. He don't prophesy. He don't have nothing to prophesy. He fulfilled that which others prophesied. He's the end of prophets. And your Bible, if you go back home and search it, it reads there at the end of the Old Testament, where Elijah is mentioned. It is the end. He is the end of the prophets. So, if I'm not able to bear witness with the prophets, the former prophets, and their prophesied, then I'm not the last. But if I'm able to bear witness that the prophets prophesied was right, just and true, then I may be that last. Right. I have so much divine wisdom that I could stand here till the same hour next day and won't be exhausted out of it. The last prophet, the Bible calls him, is the right hand of God. Yes, sir. And if that last prophet is the right hand of God, of which I am, that he can take that right hand and put it over the world of man and make man to come into his own will or destroy him by his will. Yes, right. There is no more prophecy of necessity for you to seek after Elijah. That's right. Elijah, the last of all of them. You are no more to seek someone to teach you of God, because Elijah is that last. He tastes a little of everything, evil and good, to bring one to another. He's got to know it, since the world is ruled under evil, by the evil of making a man or people by Yakub, the God at that time, by grafting out of us our germ, a weak germ, forming it and making it a man, and taught that point his wisdom, who at that time he was the greatest among us. And his wisdom would last for 6,000 years. It was up in 14. But he had dumbed us so thorough that it's taken us up until now to begin to get a glimpse at ourselves and the condition of self made by those people up here too. I can't talk to you like I want to because you have not studied what I have studied and have not been told what I have been told of the supremacy. So therefore, I tries to go along with you as mild and pleasant as I possibly can, knowing that you don't know what I know, and knowing what you know so thoroughly that I was born in it, that there can be no argument. I don't want to argue with my people because I already know, and trying to forget both our former conditions to be made in the better condition for establishing a better world suiting our own nature in which we were created. I would like that you get away from boasting on the white man's wisdom and his word. As often as you see and hear that white people out there killing you people day and night, you should not want to give them any credit if they do any. But you want to give them credit, some of you, when the man don't do any credit, but the credit of being a very thorough, good murder of black people. These two boys that he went over and shot while they lie there asleep remind me of hunting in the South. In the South, I used to see my rabbit dog find a rabbit lying in his bed, looked like sleep. And he would not jump on him like that. He'd wake him up first, then take out and try and outrun him. Well, that's the nature of the dog. He don't seem to think he's done nothing by grabbing a rabbit's sleep. He'll make noise to wake him up and give him a chance for his life. So this shows that your blue-eyed white devils don't have any nature of good in them. No mercy in his heart. Find you asleep, he found it just right for him to kill you. He'll surround your house with 100 murders, with all kinds of deadly weapons they are armed with. They know you only one is in there. But by nature, he is afraid of the black man. He is afraid he may miss and you will kill him. So if you get one of them, the others should get him. So he brings the whole army right here in the city of Chicago. Find out that you're a brave man over in your home. They get the whole police department to go and surround that area. If they don't look so well, he calls for the National Guard. Come out. You see all of this, brother and sister, going on in your midst, and you overlook it, and then turn right around and try and defend that same murder. I think sometimes you do it just for the sake of argument. And second, I think You do it just because you love the white man in his world. Our God, Mr. Muhammad, whom we learn that name from himself, as the Bible teaches you that he had a name that no one knew but he himself. Mahdi is his real name, so he taught me. Mahdi means one that is self-power. In Arab language, it's one that is self-controlled and controls others. Guide for others because he's self-guided. My beloved brothers and sisters, I have learned enough from God in which you don't hardly know. And to stand here and talk with you, which I love to do it, till tomorrow this time, if you would like to do it. I will keep you fully awake if you stay here. As a very little of God's creation that he have not taught me something about it. Because he put me as his second self. This is what I am. I am the second self of God Almighty. What you hear the Muslims say in their prayers for the messenger, that he grant him that which he's promising, this is a little higher than self. I don't want to go into that because he have told me something of that, and he told me to wait. And if you're not taking this lease so well, how could you take greater? So I thank you, my beloved, and if there is anyone would like to join up with your God and with your people, you'll come and give the name to the secretary, and he will write you down with just that people. We are that people. We are the people directly from God. We are the people that got his message. I have his message that the prophets didn't get, and of the prophets that didn't understand. Moses, from him on till Muhammad, there is no prophet, including Jesus, that understood the things that is coming about today. They have told you in black and white. Moses told you in black and white. Jesus told you in black and white, and told you to wait for that one, that God will send from himself. Well, I'm the first one since the creation that the wise God of creation have sent. Some of you, knowing my humble origin here among you, can't believe these things, though it's written. But I tell you, and the time will come when you will believe it. You can't get away with this proud stuff saying, I won't believe in that. And it's being the truth. The God of truth dwells among us in person. You won't get away with it today. Say you don't believe it if you want to, but he's not to be overcome. nor that which he hath put out to be overcome. His message. You can't overcome me. No. You can't do it. You can't hang me on no tree like you did to Jesus. You can't destroy me back here behind me. Nor can you destroy me on the side of me. Nor can you go in front of me and destroy me. I'm not making no boast, but God fixed this up. The Bible said 12 angels protected him. We know it wasn't Jesus, because Jesus was destroyed at the hand of murder. But the last one, you can't do that. The Holy Quran here teaches you that God sent two in front of him, destructive angels. These is destroying angels. He sends two of them in front. Then he have one on each side of him, and then one behind him. He's in a circle of power. This is the man standing behind. For 42 years, enemies have trailed me to kill me everywhere I go. Holy Quran tells Muhammad that we make an enemy for you in every town. And Muhammad knows this. But he's not afraid of this. Because God has given him power over the wicked, that they cannot approach him with murder. They fail. He did that by raising up in my own house, my own brother enemy, like Cain was to Abel.
Yes, sir.
But he failed to get them. And many has made the attempt and still making the attempt to get rid of Elijah Muhammad, to make his boast a lie, but they can't do it.
Yes, sir.
Not because I have power of myself, but it is Allah who protects me. And Muhammad believes in his God so well that he says, under the name of David, I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I fear no evil.
That's right.
As many of you know, that you have seen me driving up and down the streets of Chicago alone.
That's right.
I wasn't afraid of nothing and don't fear nothing yet.
Yes, sir.
The only thing I fear is he that has made me and has risen me up and given to me this job to rise you up. That's the only one I fear. I don't fear your planet. You can plan all you please until you go to sleep and wake up and go back and plan some more and go to sleep. Wake up. And every time you look around, you'll see Elijah Muhammad. why he said that he walks through the valley of the shadow of death, but he don't fear no evil, because he have God on his side. And God is powerful enough to take the power of an enemy away from him that he had designed to hurt Muhammad. He's shown me that before my face. Dropped them right before my face. They're unable to do what they had trained me to do. And they fall. Just as still to death as death itself. Can't even move. Can't even blink the eye. I've seen that done. Allah did this to let me know he had power enough to save me. Yes, I can't even open his mouth, nor blink his eye. I have seen this happen by my enemies more than one or two times. Never have said a word, yet wasn't able. I standing there before him for him to say what he's going to say, and he couldn't say. My tongue was locked in the roof of his mouth, and his eyes were set and couldn't blink itself. This boy have been before all of this. Oh, brothers and sisters, plenty more I can tell you what happened here and there. Two people that tried to rid me of my life for teaching them righteousness, for teaching them the good thing of yourself which they wasn't able to. They got jealous, and they tried to treat me like Cain treated Abel. Yeah, but I'm still here. And these are some of the powerful words he said to me. He said, yes, whatever you will, brother, it'll come to pass. And if you put them out, I'm not going out there after not one of them that you put out. He's just out there, unless you go back and get him. So I went home and I began to think. I said, this teaches me that I better be careful who I put out. I said, because I may not mean that the person stay out forever, but that's what he told me. And the Bible teaches you that God will accept the judgment of that servant, that last one he chose. And in some place it said, by him the heavens was built. He is the one who designed the heaven that you're going into. And he bade that scientist witness. He said, brother, whatever you want, ask for it, and it'll be given to you. So I say you have a mighty good fellow in me. But I can also say that in cold weather, fire is good for us. But the fire can be evil for us if we play with it. So let us not play with a good fellow. Try to be good with him for your own good. As in one place I found in the Quran, similar to that in the Bible. It's referring to Muhammad's forgiveness and love for you. So if he would forgive you 77 times a day, that don't make Allah forgive you when he knows that you need to be punished.
Yes, sir.
He will punish you, whether Muhammad desires it or not, in order to keep the credit characteristics of a good God, to keep others good. He will whip some of us for our evil, which is affecting others.
Yes, sir.
I am your good old brother, but you don't know it. But the time is not very far off that you will say, he told us he was a good brother about it, and today we see that you will come to me on your knees and beg me to forgive you for any evil thought that you had of me. I know it now. And I don't pay you no attention when you trying to act evil against me, because I know you're a dead loser. Remember that, a dead loser. I know that. You can't do nothing to me. You hurt yourself. It was designed that this last one, the people, regardless to their power, they won't overcome him.
Yes, sir.
He's well protected in going out and coming in, and you can't think nothing against him nor for him, for it's not heard. Remember, that's your thoughts and not your words. They are heard. My beloved brothers and sisters, I only said this to keep you away from throwing your good self down for an evil self, the devil. These white people is pure devils. They're not even mixed with good. They are pure good, a devil without a mixture of good. There is no good in them, so our God has taught me. It wasn't made for that. There is some that tries to do little good things every now and then, but the nature in which Yaqub made him in, he just can't be taken for a good person just because he did one little good thing for us, and he have did 1,000 things evil for us. It's just that one good thing. Brothers, wake up and try and protect yourself and help yourself with others who are trying to help protect yourself and make you back into what you was when the heavens and the earth was created. You was created in good. And you can't be nothing but a good person. That's why the evil person take advantage of you. Because you don't know the evil person, therefore they take advantage. But I'm teaching you what God taught me to teach you. That to never trust white folks. They are by nature is evil. And those who follow them, they fall in love with them because the evil Caucasian captivates them with its unlikeness, both in person and in words. But here's a little boy God have remade that now know the Caucasian from the very beginning of him and know the end of him. You probably want to say it to me, well, when will they be destroyed? Well, it may be earlier than you think. Thank you. So I've been contemplating on dismissing you for another hour, and you keep making me talk more and more. But I have respect for you, that you may know something too. And I want to give you freedom. Any one of you that would like to say something, come on out here and get to this mic and tell us anything you want to say, as long as it is in the line of decency.
I'd like to say my name is William McClinton, and I accepted the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad 3 years ago. I accepted out there in the dead. I accepted the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad about 3 years ago. I accepted out there in the wilderness, which I wasn't a part of Islam. And it brought me to where I am today. I was out there doing the same thing that a lot of us do. A lot of us have done. Drinking, running from bar to bar, place to place. But when I accepted the teaching of this man, it really changes my life. And I like to say now that I was processing. I started processing a year ago, and I fell off. I fell back into it. Now that I'm starting back, I'm trying to get back into processing. And I wish that it just looks like I'm constantly in between the outside and Islam. And I'm asking really if some of the brothers and things here, whether they can really help me, to pull me into the nation. And I like to say all praise is due to Allah for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Senator Blue House, as I am told. Senator Blue House.
I simply came by to pay my respects to the great leader of all time, and I appreciate this opportunity to make such a statement before you and to this congregation. I am with you. I am a supporter of yours and shall be. Thank you very much.
I feel like dry because what I've been going through in Rockford, Illinois, and things, not too many brothers there. And like the brothers are trying to get together there. And like, fortunate, a few brothers come from Chicago to Rockford to bring your message and Allah's message through you. Like I was like mostly around as a Christian town. And like anything you do that doesn't go along with their religion, like you go through a mind thing, and your mind, like it take brothers through a thing. Like I hope brothers and sisters in Chicago will sort of like think about Rockford, Illinois, and like cause we need some faith. And like I want to give you my respect for it. Thank you.
We thank the brothers. Oh, pardon.
All praise is due to Allah. I came here about 3 weeks ago, and I submitted my letter the same day that I came. I'm a political science major at Loyola, my final year there, and I want to know to the message. I want to ask the messenger, what am I to do with it, with this degree?
He says he's a political science major at Loyola University, and he wants to know from the messenger what should he do when he gets his degree. He said he will finish in June, and he wants instructions from the messenger as to what he should do, sir.
He's welcome to discuss it with me alone if he wants to. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I'm Brother Curry Lee X. I've just got out of the federal penitentiary at Milan, Michigan. And I'd just like to say that the brothers back there are soldiers and strong, and they love you. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
My name is Arthur Murray. I'm in the process at Temple number 45 in Houston, Texas. I've been in process now for about 3 weeks. I heard many things about the great Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but I never dreamed the day that I would come face to face to meet with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I must say to myself and to all the congregation here that it is a great honor that I may not never get a chance again to see the great Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But due to Allah, His blessings, I came before today from Houston, Texas to see the great Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Thank you.
Thank you, brother, and please give my best love and wishes to the brothers when you return, or wherever you may see them. If you return to see them again, please remember me. No. Well, my son, he's looking at one, the best for his father. But the father is looking for the best for the whole nation.
Sir, all I would like to say is that my name is Deborah Green, and this is my first time here, and I am happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have deep faith and belief in the Honorable Muhammad. I am I'm almost totally annihilated by this system, and I understand that fact. But I am also in some sort of light because I can hear and feel and see everything. And the truth that Elijah is putting out is true. It is the truth. If he can make men if he can put men out, I mean, like for 40 years, he's been practicing this. He have straightened backbones, like Malcolm X for one, in an instance. He was a beautiful person. I mean, he came up through, he went through all the experience of the black life of the ghetto and succeeded as being a famous and great man up under the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And so I have deep faith and belief in him, and I will come here often as I can until my light is lit. Thank you.
Islam is like the sun. The sunlight brings out of that which is hidden in darkness. So the truth brings out of that which is hidden by falsehood. So that is made manifest to you and I, and this is what we are glorifying our God for, revealing to us that which was hidden. So I thank you, brothers and sisters, who have spoken so well on what you are now learning to be the truth that you didn't know that it was true. That was because the enemy had hidden it. So now today's made manifest. So I'm going to dismiss you now, put you over into the hands of the assistant minister to dismiss you. And I hope that you will be here again next Sunday. I have enjoyed every minute, even to the minutes of your disbelief that made me to know that the truth, that disbelievers would rise up in the judgment. You are always, whatever you are, whatever you do, it is written. Yes. Thank you. And I turn you back in the hands of our brother, minister, assistant minister. And I'm very happy to have the Honorable Senator among us this afternoon, praying and hoping to Allah that he will return again and bring his own people of his class here. We want to talk with you, Brother Senator. We want to have senators for ourselves. We want to build a Congress of our own, rule by our own. And you may be that foremost man going in front. Yes. So I hope that our assistant minister will please you now and forever in whatever he said to you. I hope that you will believe it as long as he believes in the truth that came with the light and not with darkness. Thank you, as I say unto you, in the name of Allah, Assalamu alaikum.
All praise is due to Allah for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah for the Honorable Elijah